Keanu Reeves, Hollywood's kindest and most enigmatic star, has long kept his personal struggles hidden from the public eye. Yet, behind the polished facade of a beloved actor known for his stoic roles and unexpected humility, there's a much darker story that few know. From the haunting loss of his best friend, River Phoenix, to the heartbreaking death of his infant daughter, and the devastating accident that robbed him of the love of his life, Reeves has silently carried a heavy burden. Now, as the wear and tear of decades of stunts begin to take a physical toll on his body, he's facing a difficult decision about the future of his career, including the highly anticipated John Wick 5. This is the untold story of Keanu Reeves, the man who has endured unimaginable pain while remaining one of Hollywood's most cherished stars. Born on September 2, 1964, in Beirut, Lebanon, Keanu Charles Reeves came into the world as the son of Patricia Taylor, an English costume designer, and Samuel Reeves, a Hawaiian Chinese geologist. Their meeting in Beirut while his father was working marked the beginning of Keanu's turbulent life. His name, Keanu, is Hawaiian and means cool breeze over the mountains, a fitting description for the calm and composed demeanor he would later become known for. But Keanu's early years were far from calm. At the age of 2, his parents divorced, and Keanu was left to navigate a life filled with constant change. His father, struggling with drug issues, was arrested for heroin trafficking at an airport in Hawaii, and Keanu didn't see him again after the age of 13. For most of his childhood, Keanu's mother, Patricia, determined to provide for her 2 children, raised them largely on her own. Her work in the entertainment industry brought a touch of creativity into Keanu's life, but it also meant constant upheaval. As his mother remarried several times, each new marriage brought with it a new city and a new school. Keanu lived in Sydney, New York, and finally settled in Toronto, though his life never truly settled. Toronto became the closest thing to a home. But even there, the instability continued. His mother's second husband, a stage and film director, stayed in the picture for only a year before their marriage ended. The next man, a rock promoter, didn't last either, and she later married a hairdresser. Keanu watched as his mother struggled to create stability, but nothing in their lives stayed the same for long. School was another hurdle. Keanu attended 4 different high schools in 5 years, constantly shifting environments and trying to keep up with a structure that felt foreign to him. On top of that, Keanu struggled with dyslexia, which made reading and keeping up with traditional schooling even more challenging. Eventually, he was expelled from school. Yet Keanu found an outlet for his energy and frustration in hockey. In Toronto, where hockey wasn't just a sport but a way of life, Keanu's natural talent on the ice quickly became evident. So much so, in fact, that he considered a future in the Ontario Hockey League with the Windsor Spitfires, a clear step toward a professional hockey career. However, Keanu's path would take a different turn, one that would lead him to the world of acting instead of sports, but not without first facing countless struggles and losses. The story of Keanu Reeves is one of resilience, passion, and an unrelenting drive to overcome the odds stacked against him, even when those odds seemed insurmountable. Keanu Reeves's path to stardom wasn't a straight line, but rather a winding road filled with unexpected detours. When his dreams of becoming a professional hockey player were dashed by a serious injury, it seemed like an unthinkable setback. Yet, it would prove to be the catalyst that led him to acting, a decision that would ultimately shape his life and career. Losing hockey was painful for Keanu, but it taught him valuable lessons that would stay with him: discipline, teamwork, and the ability to push through challenges. And while his hockey career ended, his love for the sport never faded. He still plays for fun whenever the opportunity arises. Raised in a life of constant change, Keanu had already been primed for the unpredictability of Hollywood. His family's frequent relocations, and his mother's career as a costume designer meant Keanu was always adapting to new schools and new surroundings. This childhood of constant transition helped him build the resilience he would later need to navigate the highs and lows of the entertainment industry. At just 17, Keanu made a bold decision. He dropped out of high school to pursue acting full-time. While leaving behind hockey was a difficult choice, it turned out to be the right one, setting him on the course that would eventually lead to fame and success. Keanu's first real step into acting came in 1984, when he landed a small role in the Canadian TV series Hanging In. Though it wasn't a breakthrough, it was a start. Shortly after, he appeared in a Coca-Cola commercial, which, though not glamorous, gave him a taste of on-camera work and boosted his confidence. That same year, he worked as a correspondent for Going Great, a CBC youth series that required him to interview people, present stories, and engage with young audiences. This unique experience helped him sharpen his performance skills in a new way. But Keanu's foundation was truly solidified through stage acting. In 1985, he performed as Romeo in Romeo and Juliet at the Leah Poussin Theater in North York. Tackling classical theater presented its own set of challenges, but it deepened his understanding of acting and added to his growing toolkit. Despite the promising start, Keanu considered changing his name early in his career, fearing that Keanu Reeves might be too unusual for Hollywood's tastes. Ultimately, he chose to keep it, signaling that he wasn't willing to compromise his identity just to fit in. This decision would become emblematic of his approach to his career, authentic and unapologetic. His career took a serious turn in 1986 when he starred in River's Edge, a gritty crime drama that premiered at the Toronto International Film Festival. Playing Matt, a conflicted friend of a murderer, Keanu's performance stood out for its depth and subtlety. It marked a shift in his acting style, proving that he was capable of handling more serious material. Then, in 1988, Keanu landed his first major lead role in Permanent Record, a film that tackled difficult themes like teenage suicide and grief. His portrayal of Chris Townend, a young man grappling with the loss of his best friend, showcased his ability to bring honesty and vulnerability to a character. Critics took notice, recognizing that Keanu was no longer just another young actor playing troubled teens. He had real talent and a unique presence. These two films, River's Edge and Permanent Record, helped Keanu break into Hollywood and set the stage for his future stardom. From then on, he would prove time and time again that he was more than capable of handling the demanding roles that would come his way. Little did the world know, this young actor from Toronto was on the verge of becoming one of Hollywood's most beloved stars. Keanu Reeves' journey to stardom was no accident. While Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure in 1989 made him a household name, the road to success had its share of hurdles. His portrayal of the laid-back, somewhat goofy Ted in the sci-fi comedy turned out to be a defining moment in his career. The film, which followed two high schoolers traveling through time to pass their history class, was a surprise hit. On a modest $10 million budget, it grossed $40 million at the box office and quickly became a cult classic. Keanu's effortless chemistry with Alex Winter, who played Bill, brought their characters to life, and his catchphrases like "whoa" and "excellent" became iconic. Reeves became an instant star. The success of Bill and Ted led to a sequel, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey in 1991, as well as an animated series that aired from 1990 to 1991. However, with success came a challenge. People started seeing him solely as Ted, the carefree and clueless teen. Critics wondered if he could move beyond this iconic role and take on more serious characters. But Keanu was never one to be defined by others' perceptions. He was determined to show that he was capable of more, and bigger roles were soon to follow. In 1991, Keanu took on a role that would showcase his versatility and prove he had what it took to lead an action film. Point Break was released on July 12th of that year. And Reeves, still largely recognized for Bill and Ted, now found himself portraying Johnny Utah, an FBI agent sent undercover to infiltrate a gang of bank robbers who also happened to be surfers. The film had heart, fueled by the tension between Reeves's character and Patrick Swayze's charismatic Bodhi. The chemistry between the two was electric, and the action scenes kept audiences on the edge of their seats. Point Break made over $83 million worldwide and cemented Keanu as an action star. Then came Speed in 1994, a film that took his career to a whole new level. Released on June 10th, Speed saw Reeves play Jack Traven, a cop who must prevent a bomb from exploding on a bus. If the speed dropped below 50 miles per hour, the bus would detonate. It was a simple but high-stakes concept, and Keanu's calm yet determined portrayal of Jack made him a believable hero. His chemistry with Sandra Bullock, who played a passenger caught in the chaos, added depth to the otherwise non-stop action. Speed became one of the highest-grossing movies of the year, earning over $350 million worldwide, and Keanu was now an established action hero. Despite the massive success of Speed, Keanu surprised everyone by turning down Speed 2, Cruise Control. While the sequel would have been a guaranteed payday, Keanu wasn't interested in cashing in on an easy franchise. Instead, he wanted to explore more challenging and diverse roles, showing that his passion for acting wasn't about fame, but about growth as an artist. This same willingness to take risks led Keanu to My Own Private Idaho in 1991, a film directed by Gus Van Sant. This role, playing a gay street hustler, was a stark departure from his previous characters, and it pushed Keanu to the edge of his comfort zone. It also revealed the depth of his talent and his desire to challenge himself with bold, unconventional roles. This film, paired with his decision to step away from a Speed sequel, proved that Keanu Reeves was an actor in control of his career, constantly seeking new and meaningful ways to stretch his craft. Weren't initially convinced that Reeves was the right fit for the role, but his passion for the project and his commitment to the character won them over. Keanu brought a deep emotional undercurrent to John Wick, a man who, despite his violent past, was driven by love and loss. The film's stylistic action sequences and unique world-building resonated with audiences, and it quickly became a surprise hit. John Wick wasn't just a return to form for Keanu. It reignited his career in a way no one had anticipated. The film earned over $86 million worldwide, and Keanu was hailed for his raw intensity and dedication to the role. What made John Wick stand out wasn't just its action, it was Keanu's performance, which brought heart to a character driven by vengeance. For the first time in years, Keanu Reeves was back on top, proving to the world that he was far from finished. The success of John Wick led to two sequels, John Wick, Chapter 2, 2017, and John Wick, Chapter 3, Parabellum, 2019. Both films were well received, expanding the franchise into a global sensation. Keanu's portrayal of the stoic, emotionally conflicted hitman solidified his status as a leading man once again. In a world where Hollywood often relies on familiar faces and formulaic plots, Keanu brought something refreshing to the screen, a level of depth and authenticity rarely seen in action films. By 2021, Keanu had firmly established himself not only as an action star, but as one of the most respected and beloved figures in Hollywood. His personal story, the challenges he had faced in his career and life, had made him a symbol of resilience and humility. He had weathered the storm of Hollywood's ups and downs, and through it all, his kindness and generosity had earned him the admiration of fans and colleagues alike. But the real beauty of Keanu's story lies in his ability to stay true to himself despite the immense pressures of fame. His willingness to take risks, his dedication to his craft, and his refusal to be defined by others set him apart from many of his peers. Keanu's career is a testament to the power of perseverance and authenticity. From the highs of The Matrix to the reinvention of himself in John Wick, Keanu Reeves has proven that sometimes the greatest stories in Hollywood are not just the ones that happen on screen, but the ones that unfold behind the scenes. Component placement. But his body is telling him it might be time to stop. Keanu shared that despite the thrill and passion he has for the character, the intense physicality of the role is beginning to take a toll. The brutal fight sequences, high-speed chases, and elaborate stunts that once came easily now demand more recovery time, and with every film, the wear and tear on his body increases. At 60, Keanu's reflection on the physicality of John Wick is a sobering reminder of the sacrifices that come with being an action star. His dedication to performing his own stunts, an impressive feat that has set the John Wick franchise apart, has made him a legend in Hollywood, but it's also taken a serious toll on his body. After nearly 2 decades of high-impact action roles, Keanu has earned the right to take a step back and consider the long-term effects. The success of the John Wick franchise has given Keanu Reeves a second career wind, showing Hollywood and the world that he's not just the lovable, soft-spoken star from The Matrix or the goofy, time-traveling teen from Bill and Ted. He's a force to be reckoned with in the action genre. But now, as he nears the end of his run with John Wick, fans and critics alike are bracing for a transition. Keanu has always been about more than just the action. His portrayal of John Wick is a testament to his ability to tap into the deep emotional core of his characters. Even amidst the blood, bullets, and breathtaking stunts, he brings a quiet humanity to Wick that resonates with audiences. It's why the character is so beloved, not just because of the action, but because of the man beneath the violence, the pain, and the tragedy. As Keanu prepares for the next chapter of his career, fans are left wondering what lies ahead for the actor who has never been afraid to take risks, challenge his body, and embrace his roles fully. Whether it's transitioning to more dramatic parts, taking on less physically demanding roles, or continuing to find new ways to push boundaries in Hollywood, Keanu Reeves has proven time and again that his journey in the industry is far from over. For now, though, as the John Wick chapter draws to a close, the world will continue to admire Keanu's dedication, his talent, and his remarkable ability to bring even the most physically demanding roles to life. Whatever comes next, Keanu Reeves will no doubt continue to inspire with his unmatched work ethic, his unwavering authenticity, and his willingness to give his all, on screen and off. Keanu Reeves' life has been one of unexpected triumphs and devastating tragedies, each shaping him into the man he is today. Behind his often stoic yet kind public image lies a man who has faced more pain than most could bear. Despite his success, the personal losses Keanu has experienced have haunted him in ways few realize. The heartbreaking loss of his best friend, River Phoenix, in 1993 was one of the darkest chapters of his life. The two had shared an undeniable bond, having met during the filming of My Own Private Idaho in 1991. Their friendship was more than just a professional connection. It was a deep, meaningful relationship that transcended Hollywood. When Phoenix died of a drug overdose, it left an unfillable void in Keanu's heart. Phoenix's death at just 23 years old, following a binge of heroin and cocaine, shocked the world and shattered Reeves. Despite his sorrow, Keanu rarely spoke of his grief, but when he did, the weight of his words resonated with the quiet pain he carried. Yet, the loss didn't end there. In 1999, Keanu's life took another devastating turn when he and his girlfriend, Jennifer Syme, experienced the stillbirth of their daughter, Ava Archer Sim Reeves, just months before Christmas. The joy of expecting a child quickly turned into unbearable grief. It was a loss that tore at Keanu's soul, and tragically, the pain they endured as a couple caused their relationship to unravel. Despite the personal devastation, Keanu kept moving forward, but the grief never truly left him. Keanu's resilience in the face of such overwhelming heartbreak is remarkable. But it has come with a price. For someone who has already endured so much, every new loss only adds to the weight he carries. Whether it's the toll his body is starting to take in the action-packed John Wick films, or the emotional scars from losing the people he loved most, Keanu continues to persevere. His journey has been defined not only by his immense talent and cinematic success, but also by the quiet strength with which he handles his personal struggles. As he faces the physical limits of his body in his iconic role as John Wick, fans are left wondering what lies ahead for him. With his dedication to performing his own stunts and pushing his body to the limit, it's clear that Keanu's commitment to his craft knows no bounds. However, after years of intense action sequences and the toll they've taken on his body, his future in action movies remains uncertain. Can John Wick continue without him? The question looms, but Keanu's legacy as one of Hollywood's most humble and enduring stars is already cemented. Through it all, Keanu remains one of the most beloved actors of his generation, not just for his on-screen performances, but for the kindness and grace with which he navigates his life off-screen. His journey from tragedy to triumph, from the heartbreaking loss of friends and family to his ongoing dedication to his work, proves that Keanu Reeves is more than just a Hollywood star. He is a true testament to strength, resilience, and the power of the human spirit. Keanu Reeves's life has been defined by extraordinary loss, but also by an unwavering commitment to kindness, generosity, and empathy. The tragic death of his ex-girlfriend, Jennifer Syme, in 2001 was yet another devastating blow in a series of heart-wrenching events that had marked his life. On that fateful night, Jennifer, just 28 years old, crashed her car in Los Angeles after leaving a party at Marilyn Manson's house. She wasn't wearing a seatbelt, and the impact threw her from the car, taking her life instantly. The loss was unbearable for Keanu, who had already endured so much. He had once envisioned building a future with Jennifer, and now he had to say goodbye. At her funeral, Keanu stood as a pallbearer, his grief etched deeply into his face. Keanu's relationship with Jennifer was not just a love lost. It was a chapter of his life he had hoped would lead to something lasting. Director David Lynch and musician Dave Navarro, who were also close to Jennifer, stood by Keanu, showing their support and helping to honor her memory. David Lynch dedicated his film Mulholland Drive to Jennifer, a tribute to the woman who had touched many lives. Keanu's capacity for love and loyalty became even clearer when his sister, Kim Reeves, was diagnosed with leukemia in 1991. She battled the disease for nearly a decade, and during that time, Keanu's love and support never wavered. He put his career on hold to care for her, moving in with her, assisting with treatments, and making sure she had everything she needed. Her remission in 2001 brought a sense of relief, but the toll the illness took on Keanu was profound. The experience deeply affected him, shaping his future endeavors. He founded a private charitable foundation that focuses on supporting cancer research in children's hospitals. Keanu rarely discusses the foundation, preferring to let the work speak for itself. His selfless dedication to others is not driven by the desire for recognition, but by the genuine need to make a difference in the lives of those facing struggles similar to his sister's. Keanu's acts of kindness extend far beyond financial donations. In 2008, he participated in Stand Up to Cancer, answering phones to raise money for research. His generosity has been evident in countless smaller, everyday moments. One such moment occurred in 1997 when he was photographed sitting on a sidewalk in West Hollywood, sharing snacks with a homeless man. It wasn't for the cameras, it was just who Keanu was. He took the time to sit, listen, laugh, and connect with a person in need, offering a moment of humanity and compassion that went unnoticed by the public eye. Another unforgettable act of kindness occurred when Keanu helped a woman whose car had broken down. Not only did he stop to help her jump-start the car, but when that didn't work, he called a tow truck. Keanu didn't stop there. He offered to drive the woman home, going nearly 50 miles out of his way. The two chatted during the ride, and Keanu, ever gracious, gave her his number in case she needed anything else. These are just a few examples of Keanu's deep kindness, a quality that has made him beloved both on and off the screen. Keanu Reeves has experienced tremendous loss and hardship, but what truly defines him is how he uses those painful experiences to fuel a life of kindness, compassion, and generosity. His life is not just a story of fame and Hollywood success, but of a man who, despite his own struggles, consistently seeks to lift others up. From his grief over the loss of loved ones to his silent charity work, Keanu Reeves exemplifies what it means to lead with humility and heart. Keanu Reeves is often regarded as one of the most grounded and humble figures in Hollywood, a rarity in an industry that thrives on ego and image. He's been spotted countless times riding the subway, not with the aura of a celebrity, but simply as another passenger going about his day. He's known for giving up his seat to elderly riders and pregnant women, a gesture that many would consider a small kindness, but in Keanu's case, it's a reflection of how he views himself, not as someone above others, but as a part of the fabric of society. This humility has become one of his defining qualities, one that continues to endear him to fans and colleagues alike. But Keanu's generosity extends far beyond everyday acts of kindness. His willingness to share his success with others became especially apparent during the filming of the Matrix sequels. At the height of the franchise's success, Keanu made a decision that shocked Hollywood. He gave up around $75 million of his earnings, ensuring that the special effects and costume teams, those who had worked tirelessly behind the scenes, received a larger share of the budget. In his eyes, they were the ones who made the film the groundbreaking success it was, and he wanted to make sure they were properly rewarded. This wasn't an isolated incident. After The Matrix became a worldwide phenomenon, Keanu didn't pocket all of his earnings. Instead, he personally gave nearly $1 million of his own paycheck to each of the visual effects and post-production crew members, a group that typically never saw bonuses, no matter how much a film grossed. It was a gesture that spoke volumes about Keanu's character, his generosity, his selflessness, and his understanding of the collective effort that goes into making a film. Throughout his career, Keanu has consistently taken pay cuts to ensure the best talent is hired, not just for his films, but for the crews that make them possible. Whether it's helping other actors get paid more or making sure key crew members are brought on board, Keanu's actions have shown that he values people above profit. Keanu Reeves is the kind of person who helps because he genuinely wants to, not because he has to. In an industry where attention, recognition, and fame often change people, Keanu has remained a steady and grounded figure. His acts of kindness are not meant for the cameras, nor are they meant to generate applause. They are simply a reflection of who he is, a man who cares deeply for others and understands the value of lifting people up, not only in his personal life, but also in the professional world.